Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning pre-market analysis and trade plan setup for Thursday, May 22nd. My name is Doug McKay, and I am the founder and head moderator of Quantum Leap Trading. Quantum Leap Trading is not a commercial venture. It is a private Skype room. We are retail traders that get together in a private Skype chat, soon to be moved over to the new website at stealthtrader.com. But we've been coming together for coming up on 5 years now, and if you're interested in coming in and checking out the Skype room, the Skype chat, you'll need a Skype account, but you can send me a contact request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Or you can send me an email at dmckay@stealthtrader.com. And I love to talk about the markets, so don't be afraid to contact me. Each morning we come together and we do this pre-market analysis and take a look at the structure of the market, the trend. We start with the macro to the micro, and then we drill down to actual chart analysis and setting up our trade levels and targets for the day. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you might want to skip ahead because we do the basics, because we're getting ourselves and we're going through our morning routine that we do each morning to prepare ourselves for trading, but you might want to skip ahead and get into some chart analysis. As a trader, you should never skip your morning routine. Stick to it. If you've been here before, you know I do exactly the same thing every morning, prepare myself and get ready to trade. But before I can do anything, I got to do the disclaimer. So this information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand the knowledge of business trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions made. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk or loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than their initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own trade plan. Do your own due diligence. Whew. Got that out really quick, didn't I? All right, let's start with the key numbers. Where are we trading right now? Where are we trading? We are trading at 1885. Okay. So taking a look at where we are within the key numbers, I mean, we're above the year open at 1837.75, so we definitely still have a bull market going on. We're coming up to test this 1898.50. I actually thought they were going to go and test it overnight. I still think that 1900 is a magnet, and it's going to pull us up there. Our year low is nowhere even near us, so we won't even talk about it. We opened the month at 1879.50, so we are in a bull year, but a bear market until we get, I'm sorry, we're at 1885. We're in a bull month as well as a bull market. Our month high is the all-time high and the year high, and we're above the month low at 1854. Nothing else really jumps out of us. We do have that 92.50 previous month high at just above us, and our previous all-time high. Going over to the intraday numbers, we opened the market yesterday in the Globex at 68.50, had a high of 75.75 and a low of 66.50. We opened auction in range at 75. We had an open drive with, I used 77. I know that Murad used a higher number, but we did get a counter rotation off of 77. But regardless, it was an open drive, and broke the IB to one side for a normal variation day. Initial balance high, 82.50. Initial balance low, 18.74 for 8-point initial balance, well within range. Our intraday numbers were all higher after having a day lower. The 12:30 number, 81.50. I mean, 81.50. That's been a number I've been talking about ever since we tried to hold value there after going up and making that all-time high at 92.50. Our RTH high, 86.50, low 74.50, and close at 85.50. And of course, we had our VPOP shift up to 85.25, just near our close. And I've been seeing this quite often lately. Whereas when we're making, when we're making new highs near the end of the day, that the VPOC is shifting up and ending up right around that same area as the close. In terms of the 20-day ATRs, we have 15 14.04, just over 15 on the RTH, just over 17.5 on the full session, and just under 8.5 on the Globex. Value area high was 85.75, value area low was 80.25 for a 5.5 point value area, pretty much normal. And then we had a make and break on the IB yesterday at 9.36. Volume was pretty much standard, 1.1 in the RTH, 1.3 in the full session. Going over to the daily report, our full session high, or so far the Globex high at 1890.50 and the low at 1883 gives us a ATR target. There's our 1900, folks, 1950 for our 20-day ATR target to the upside, and the low is down there at that 1872.50 at basically 1873, but I'm going to be watching that 1872.50 because that's the number to watch. Looking at the news this morning, we have Canadian core retail that was just put out, no real big movement. We had unemployment claims. We've got flash manufacturing PMI. The big one will be the existing homes at 9 Central, 10 Eastern, and the CB leading index. And then we've got natural gas at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern. Let's go right over to the trends and see where we are within the different time frames. Monthly trend, you can see you've got great slope and separation on the 9 EMA and the 20 SMA. Those are the two moving averages that I like to watch. We are trading in the upper distribution and near the high of the previous month and near the all-time high at 98.50. We definitely have our trend still intact on the macro. On the weekly, we've got same thing. We came down, had a little bit of weakness here, closed below the 9 and the 20. That was the first time since going all the way back here to 08-26 week, and then we pop right back up, and then the trend has continued upward, and we are trading above the 9 and the 20 with slope and separation. Trend is very much intact on the weekly. On the daily, a little bit of a different story. We are just chopping around here, and we are consolidating. But we are trading above the 9 and the 20, but no real discernible trend on the daily. Taking a look at the geometric chart, we had our energy point. We hit it on both days right here at that 1885. That's currently where we're trading right now. We are above the upper line of the counter downward sloping fork, and we're coming up to test the center line of the intermediate upward sloping fork, and we're inside of the long-term fork that we've been watching for a while. So a test and a break of the upper line is going to be above 87. That's that CLVN at 87.75, so keep an eye on that. It's right there. A break back inside of the downward sloping fork will take us down below 1881, and it's really 1880.50 that I'm watching to the downside right now. And then, of course, if we get any strength of a move downward, you might want to look to possible move down to 1858.54 to test the lower line of the longer-term upward sloping fork. Taking a look at the intraday trends coming into this market, you can see that we've got slope and separation on the 4 hour. We have created a bit of a little bit of a tech gap this morning with a Mr. Sneaky right here. A gap close will bring us down to 82 area. Probably, I think somewhere around 83.50 will close this technical gap, but we do have a bit of an upward trend starting on the 4 hour. On the 30-minute, a little bit of a different story. We have had a strong trend up, and then we created this tech gap up here, had the Mr. Sneaky, and then we've sold off and got below the 9 and the 20, but then we popped up, tested the 20, and currently rejected it, and we are trading just below the 9 EMA. There is no trend on the 30-minute coming into the RTH session. On the 5-minute, same thing. We had this downtrend, and then we've just been consolidating sideways, so there's no real trend discernible coming into the RTH session on the 5-minute. Going over to the composite chart and take a look at the big picture here. So and again, this is going to be a little bit convoluted for some people that are new in the room, but just let me walk you through it. The overall microcomposite, okay, which is this profile right here, going back to February the 21st, the VPOC for that particular balance zone that we've been just chopping around is at that 1865. It was 1864.50, then it was 1864.75, now it's 1865. On top of that, our composite VPOC going back, and this is the composite right here in the black, going back to the swing low at October the 9th, 2013, the most accepted price, and the composite VPOC is at 1865. So this is this balance area that we've been just chopping around. Now, the value area high on that is 1879.75, and we are outside of value of the major balance area, but inside of range. But the most important thing is we're above 1879.75, we're outside of value, and you still have to be looking to the upside right now because we're breaking out. And a couple different reasons, we'll get to it, just let me work through this. On the low side, our value area low is down here at 1840.75. Now, I'm looking at 39 myself, but that's the value area low right now. Now, within that, okay, we came up and we chopped back around here after going all the way down and picking up buyers down at that where we started, that first. Let me just bring this to the front so you can see this. We came down and picked up buyers down here at this 1807.50. Then we worked our way back up through the areas that we tried to hold value before, and we came up, and then in the last little while, we came up and we've been holding from the April the 25th through to yesterday. We've accepted value slightly higher than the 65, up at the 68 and a quarter area. And then, once we accepted that higher value, we accepted value a little bit higher, which is a little microcomposite that I ran from the breakout day of May the 1st through to May the 9th, and we accepted value up around the 72.50. Then we had a breakout day. We broke out of value, broke out of range, and went up and made the new all-time high at 98.50. And then, for the next 2 days, we tried to hold value up here at 1890.25. We couldn't, and we fell back down, came all the way back down to the 65, and found responsive buyers down here. And then we've been, trying to, make the move back up, and we've accepted value again higher at 67.50. Yesterday, we broke out of that balance and went up and closed near this 1885.75, where we have a naked close right now. And we're going to be opening up just inside of range and just outside of value. But we're outside of two very important levels, and that's outside of this 1879, and we're above this 81.50. And 81.50, if you've been in these sessions, this is a number that I've been watching because we kept on coming up and trying to hold value back up at this 1881.50. And I think we're finally finding that value and holding it now, and now we can make another push to try to break above this 1887.75 to go up and test this 1890 and a quarter level. And if we can get up here and accept value up here, I think we're going to make a new high and test that 1900. If we get back below 1879.75, then we're going to be back inside of value and likely to rotate at least back down here to test the 72.50, if not coming down and testing the 67 to 65 area. So let's take a look at what this looks like overnight. So overnight we have a high up there at 1890.50. We went up and tested that 1890 and a quarter, composite microcomposite VPOC, and then seller stepped in and pushed us back down. So we have an overnight high of 1890.50, and just below that that key CH or microcomposite VPOC, and we also have a naked VPOC going back to the 15th of the month. Our overnight low is down at 1883. And currently we have a Globex VPOC at 1886.25. Just outside of this range, or just inside of this range, I should say. Just outside of, or just inside a range, just outside of value. So if we don't make a move up and break above this 86.50 prior to the open, that's something that we've got to watch, and I can't, I can't do anything but wait to see. If we open up above 1886.50, we're going to open outside of value and open outside of range. We're also above a key balance area and value area high at 1879.75. So the first thing is we've got to look for initiative buyers stepping in and ripping us up to take out the overnight high at 1890.25. If we open up inside of range but just outside of value, I would look for them to take out this naked close at 1885.50 and take out the naked VPOC and look for responsive buyers stepping in here to hold us and then take us outside of value. So this is going to be a very tricky open this morning if we open right here, because we do have a little bit of a magnet right here at 1885.25. Let's take a look at what that looks like in the bigger picture. So we've got this 1887.75, and that's just outside of the range and value, and that we have to look at an area to get above in my mind in terms of taking the long, because we could just peak above value and above range and come up to this 1887.75 and see responsive sellers step in and then try to take us back down. So I personally would not take the breakout of 86.50. I would wait to get above the 1887.75. That's the safe play. That doesn't mean that you can't take the break above the range high at 86.50 and get in and get funded and see how they react at 1887. But to me, that's the riskier play, and your actual stop, if you took the break of 86.50, would have to be down here at 83.75. And to me, that's just a little bit of a large risk right there. So just be careful to the upside on the open, because we could just peak above and then sellers rip us back inside of the range and the value. In terms of finding responsive buyers, where I'd be looking for them is I'd be looking at this 83, because 83 is the range high from the last 4 days of or 5 days, no, 4 days of balance that we're in, that we just broke out of yesterday. And you've got an LVN here at 84.25, and you've got your overnight low. So you can play this two ways. You could take it from the LVN here at 84.25 and look for them to go and take out the overnight low at 83 and see if we find responsive buyers, or you could wait until we get down to this 83 and see if you find responsive buyers. But if they don't find responsive buyers, then I'm looking for a move back down to the 81.50. And that 81.50, remember, is this microcomposite VPOC right here. So personally, my recommendation to be safe, and again, I'm always going to recommend the safer trade, is going to be wait for the break of the 83, or get long off the 83 if we come down here and you see responsive buyers stepping in, because then you get a nice rotation back up into the VPOC from yesterday and then possible break above 86. So it's just very, very messy right here, and you can't know which way it's going to go. So for me, the two lines in the sand this morning on the open is going to be a break above 87.75 or a rejection of 1887 75, or a move down to 83 and responsive buyer stepping in, or we break 83 and we go down to 81 and a half. And that is the way I'm going to play it. 81 and a half will be our first target. Below and above 87.75, our first target is going to be the naked VPOC and the overnight high. Excuse me. Let's do the low side first. So below 83, look for 81.50 and a push. Oh, sorry, and a push down to test the value area low at 80 and a quarter. Remember I said that's the number I'm watching right now. I want to see us hold yesterday's value, but we've got the 79.75 right there. So I'm actually going to use the slush area between 80 and a quarter and 79.75 as a trade area. And I'll look for, responsive buyers stepping in to hold us inside of value. But if we break below that 79.75, the first target below is the 78.75. I know it's a pretty tight target, but you still got time to get in here and get a quick scale. And then below that, the big target below is, and gotta love how these numbers keep coming up, 75.75, and that's basically just down here near the range low and the open of yesterday. So 75.75 is my target below here, and then I'd be looking at the 74.50 as an area that we could see some responsive buyers stepping in. Below 74.50, the big number below is the main target below range and value, which is 72.50. With the other side of that balance being at 70.75. And the number below that is 69.75, but if we get below 70.75, I really think you're going to see a move down to test the 68 and a quarter to take out this naked VPOC. And then the major balance area and the major target below this is going to be at this 65. And if we get back down here inside of this, this major microcomposite VPOC and the composite VPOC, the other side of balance down there is 59.75. But I'm actually going to use 61.50. If everybody remembers that number, 61.50 was an important number we were trading around, a couple weeks ago when we were bouncing in this area inside these wicks right here. And then the big line in the sand that we want to hold and not see a break of if we're going to go and test these 1900s is the 1855 and a quarter. And then if we get below that, you've got 49.50. Just got to get our extended targets down here because you never know what's going to happen, especially with a possible blow off top here. I want to be prepared if we, if we get down here, knowing what I'm going to do, where I'm going to do it, if it would let me put it in there. Come on. There we go. 49.50. And then 45 and a quarter is the other side of that balance. And then the big number below that, and the target that I'd be shooting for, and I'd be shorting like a madman, is at 43.50. And then you got 39.75 as naked close. You've got 39 as this key CLVN right here, which takes us below the value area low here at 40.50. But I said I'd be looking at the 39. And below 39, you've got the year open at 37.75 and naked VPOC at 36, and then we get into that triple distribution area down here, 35 and a quarter, 29.50, and 25 and a quarter. And I'm not even going to put those on the chart because, you know, geez, if you watch these videos or been in homework, I've been harping on that triple distribution zone now for over a month or so. All right, to the upside, if we break above 87.75, our main target above is the naked VPOC and the microcomposite VPOC up here at 90 and a quarter. Other side of balance to that is 91 and a quarter. And then above 91 and a quarter, we've got the CHVN at 94 and a quarter, and the value area high, where we in this balance area where we're trying to hold value at 94.75. So I'm going to put a trade area, and it's really a target and a trade area up here. I'm going to front run it at this 94 and a quarter. You know, which is the naked VPOC, and just above it, the value area high. And then above that, you've got, you know, the major target above, which is this 98.50, the all-time high. And then we've got the 1900, 1902.50, and the rule of 10 up here at 1910. All right, so that's what we're looking at on the ES. Just keep an eye on, you know, if we go and make, you know, if we open up outside of range and outside of value, just be careful on the open, because you could see initiative buyers stepping in and ripping us up to take out that overnight high and the naked VPOC and microcomposite VPOC at 90 and a quarter. Inside, very convoluted here. Going to see some chop on the open. Be careful, and you can take the breakout of the 86.50, but you got to see strong buying coming in. Inside of value, you know, you might want to scalp it down to 85 and a quarter for the takeout of the microcomposite, but this is the risky trade right here. For me, wait to get you know, below that 83 and the takeout of the overnight low, then see if you get the buyer stepping in. All right, let's take a look at the Russell real quick. I already have my my lines on my Russell already. So same thing. We're going to be opening up at a very key area. Let me just bring the profile to the front. We've got the value area high here at 1104.50. It is going to be the line in the sand for me to trade off of. Below that, look for a rotation down towards the 1101.10 and the takeout of the overnight low at 1100 and a quarter, and a test of the 1100. But the number that you really want to be looking at below is this 1098.10 to the 1097.70, because if we get below that, then we're going to be outside of yesterday's value, and we're likely going to get a move back down to that 1096 again. And there's that 1096 that we keep talking about. Below 1096, there really isn't much. You've got 1093.70 as your first target down there. Come on. And then below that, you've got 1091, which is the CLVN, and then you can see that we've got these wicks down here, and we could come down here and get stuck in the wicks, you know, all the way down to that 78. But the key area that we need to hold is this 1075.50, and it's the same thing as the ES. Below the 1075.50, then we get I think we get a bigger retrace and a move down to this lower distribution down here in around this 1064.50, because there's not much, you know, to hold us down. The first target below would be 1070.40, 1070.50, and the naked close at 1071. But we do not want to see a move down to that 1075.50, because I think then we've got an intermediate high put in. Above value, look for a push to test this 1106 area. And then just above, see, you've got this balance area right here with the value area high at 1105.80 with the range high at 1106. I would wait for the break above the 1106, and then you've got a good target up here at 1108, 40, and the overnight high at 1109. Remember that 1109, we were trading off of that 1109.60. CLVN, and then above that you got some really nice targets above 1112, 10, 1113, 1115, 1115 up here. Actually, this should be 1590. Oh, sorry, not the 17. 1590. Sorry. It's not going to, just remember 1590. It's going to be sitting here at 1575, but it's 1590. In fact, let's just put it at 16. And then above that, the key line above us right now is this 1117.70. And if we get above that 1117.70, you got a really nice shot and high probability of coming up to the 1121. 10 here. That's the composite VPOC going back to that October the 9th swing low, and also our larger balance area microcomposite VPOC up there. So that's going to be, we get above 1117.70, you're outside of this current balance zone, and you're accepting value higher, and we move up to 1121, and targets above that are 1126 or 1127 and 1129. The key, major resistance above us is going to be this 1131.90, call it 1132, because above 1132 we move up to this 35 areas, this last swing high, and a break above the microcomposite range high at 36, and a move up to 39 and the 40. And then we're getting into this area right here on the last swing high up to 1155 in this balance zone with the microcomposite VPOC up here at 1146, and that's the the big target above the 32 area. So that's Russell, and let's take a quick look at gold. I'm jumping for joy because I've got my stop down at 1275 and a quarter, and I thought they were going to come down and take me out, but it held, and now we've got a nice move up, and we're trying to hold in this 1300. If we get and hold above 1300, look for a move to 1302.50 and a test of the value area high at 1304.20, with the big resistance going to be here at 1306.20. And above 1306.20, get long gold, man. It's going to be a nice ride up to the 1312 area. But the big number for me above is this 1315.80, because if we get above 1315.80, then I'm looking for a much bigger move up into the 3140 area with resistance at 2170 and the 24 to 26 area and 2875. But I think with this move above 1315, then we've got a clear shot up into that 31, and that's going to be a beautiful move off of that. So, watch if they hold on the open, this 1300, because I think there's a nice long off of this level. Even if it comes down and holds value above 1298, I'd be looking to get long into 1302. I've been telling everybody that 1298 is the number that we need to get above and hold to get a bigger move in gold up to test that 1306, and more likely my target up here at 1315. So that's what I'm looking at, folks. Again, be careful on this open. It's going to be a little bit of a rocky ride if we open up right here inside of the range and just on top of this value area high. we're outside of value and range right now. So, we could actually, open outside of range this morning. But be careful. It's going to be choppy. Use your own judgment, do your own trades. But for me, you got to get long above 87.75 or off of 83. And, if we get below 83, that's the key line in the sand to get short into that 81.50. As always, that will complete our morning homework session. Trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.